Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from me, host Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda, hero of Psych, defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1 on Villa Fiore. In the northwest, we have Mishi fighting here for America, freedom, democracy, and liberty. Setting forward here with the 1st Armoured Division C Company with a double assault engineer scout start here. Interesting. In the southeast, though, we have Ihitto fighting for the Deutsches Afrika, the German army. The 15th Panzergrenadier Division here with a bike and a rare sight of DAK Panzergrenadiers in the 1v1 metagame because they've really fallen out of favour there. As always, big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for continued generous and amazing support of the Propagandacast. Keeps making all these videos possible, and a big hearty thanks to keep commenting, liking on them. Helps out immensely with the YouTube algorithms, which others would like to just spare me. Triple us on your son here for Mishi. Definitely been seeing some of that here of the Americans, in particular with fast M16s. It can be actually quite potent in some cases, in particular versus the Wehrmacht, who of course continues to struggle versus fast M16s and any fast light vehicles and guns. There you go, assault moving forward here with the M3 grease guns. Further south here we got the Panzergrenadier up there for Ihitto, so far steady across the entirety of the map here. Aggressive, of course, here for Mishi. Can also, of course, open up for a lot of flamethrowers, a lot of mines, a lot of potential with, like, all of these assault units. Of course, the main weakness is they do lack snares, so, like, you know, a lot of light vehicles come out of the DAK player. This is going to hit a bit of a brick wall, and this is also typically where I only see this mostly against the Wehrmacht rather than the DAK, because, again, Wehrmacht just can't quite as actually punish this as the DAK can. But we actually got more Panzergrenadiers out over here too. Very, in a way, non-meta, because, again, most DAK players at the moment just don't favour the DAK Panzergrenadiers at all. Hence why we see a lot of players just going for double bikes and you going as fast as possible for the next tier. So, definitely an interesting choice of Ihitto. Very bold, very, well, you know, Art Nouveau. Assault units being 40 pounds, they're backing off. They, of course, don't want to allow the assault units to get close. Want to maintain some distance with their CoH3 bolt-action rifles. South side here, Panzergrenadier up to assist here. Mishi want to be careful with the assault units around the centre, or things could get a bit ugly. And there you go, more Panzergunners arriving. The assault units isolated, unsupported, are quickly forced back here in the face of a concerted German assault here up north. Bike being met here with their scouts and another assault unit squad here. More assault units moving up here, quickly being met though with heavy fire from the German infantry. May want to have the Panzergunners forward to leave the Panzergrenadier to back up and grab the point, but no, he just goes all in here. More Panzergrenadier for Ihitto. Bike being further forced back here, heavily damaged. And there you go, splitting up his forces, leaving the Panzergrenadier to dig up, and then splitting his forces further. Bit risky here for Ihitto. Obviously allows to grab more points, but at the same time leaves us more vulnerable to more, you know, focused counterattack by Mishi. So, bit risky here, bit risky. Sony's falling back here. He's realizing he's about to cut off from his fuel, and there you go. Now we see the counterattack in. Again, we also see the bit risky. Again, forces a bit split out here, which theoretically gives Mishi more time to close in. But in this case, though, we do get enough response here from Ihitto, and there you go. Sortie squad push back. Others going at it here. Heavy fire that being directed between the two sides. Grease guns, CoH3 bolt-action rifles. Assault units there are overcoming the Panzer at close range. Almost got a wipe here. That'd be huge here against Ihitto. Massive. Bigly. But no, narrowly avoids a wipe there. Incredibly close call, though. The Sonyas, they keep at it. They got Veterans one. They're giving the nice little combat boost there. Light Support Company. Barracks up there. Catling up here. Bike knolls on the point here. And absolute slaughter over this cutoff point. Casualties piling up on both sides. Germans and Americans alike here. Veterans one gain. Their second Panzer Squad push back here. Heavy losses. Another source going forwards here. Defended the cutoff point successfully, and in the end, Ihitto paid a heavy price for no real gains here either in the end. So, definitely not an ideal engagement. He probably should have, yeah, well, he should have considered withdrawing sooner there. East side here, scouts bring about the ground northern fuel point. So, this actually makes it worse for Ihitto. His own push for the cutoff point fell flat on its face. He didn't get it. But more crucially, he lost his fuel point. So, this ends up being a really bad engagement for Ihitto on several accounts then. And great then for Mishi. He defended his cutoff point, and again he gained more resources elsewhere. So that was definitely not ideal. We do get fast support, and we might see a flak feeling out of Ihitto. Again, another rarer sight. There's again more DAK players are focusing more on the mechanized company, Actards and Marders. And of course a lot of Panzerjägers. Captaining forward, this one's we got the flamethrowers up there. Grabbing the cutoff point back, but we'll need to grab the fuel point there as well. Victory points wise, it's fairly close between the two for now. 5 minutes of the match, not exactly any major leads there. Panzergrenadier routed by this sort of swinging with the grease guns. The M3 grease gun was basically an attempt to make overall much cheaper and easier and faster to produce a Thompson submachine gun. And they largely did succeed in this regard, I believe being inspired by the MP40 and its sort of stabbed metal approach. I believe it was also just easier to handle than Thompson as well. Plus, in other regards. But anyways, bike moving up here, Panzergrenadier busy. So, got that done, but nothing out of yet. Mishi meanwhile moving a lot of his infantry across the entirety of the map here. Still no light vehicles. We got assault grenadiers. Not a bad pick, of course. Going to put pressure on the enemy infantry. Gonna rip through them. That, and he's also short on the fuel. So he can't really say hit with a flat, fast flak feeling here versus Mishi. We got advanced logistics here, of course, since he does take a lot of troops, so he wants to be able to reinforce them cheaply, so this does make an awful lot of sense here. Counter-attack up north here with the flamethrower, but again, out in the open. They are going to take a lot of fire from the Panzergrenadiers here, and both are Veterans 1. They could technically trigger the Veterans 1 abilities there. Start moving forwards. One thing worth noticing, getting a lot of flamethrowers, but no, mind you, moved a bit too fast down the munitions point. This is possibly a big win there for Ihitto, because that means less flamethrowers and, mines faster enough there. Set up the center push. There we go. Soldiers moving in, catching the captain there with MP40s, ripping through the captain and his men there. Further south, the Salt News moving up here for the southern munitions point. Center again splitting up a bit here. Flamethrowers on the way there for Ihitto's Panzer Pioneer, captain spotted there. And we got Rifle as well here for Mishi, going for a very infantry approach. I mean, 4 Assault News squads and the Rail squad on top of the camp. That's a lot of troops here. At this stage, Ihitto would, I think, obviously besides a flak feeling, be graciously rewarded for going for an MG34. Like, a lot of suppressive firepower right now is going to be a bit of a nightmare for Mishi. He's really committing so heavily here to infantry without any significant anti-tank assets. There you go, we do get the flak feeling there. Technically that's the name of the gun. The truck itself, of course, is the Sunderkraftfahrzeug 7. And of course just mounted on, like the Germans would mount anti-aircraft guns in a variety of light vehicles and use this as self-propelled anti-aircraft guns. They'd even try and mount, flak 38s on Schwimmwagens, I think, with mixed success. They even actually have a bunch mounted on the Brand Carrier, aka the Universal Carrier. They also serve as in Normandy. Fun fact. Southern point here seized. And there you go, flak filling out here. So this is going to be a bit of a headache for Michi. He's going for the motor pool. A bit late to the party there. If not been for that fuel pond harassment there, this would have been very risky for him. Going forward here, and there going to Ralph squad. Also, quick note, we have seen hints there to what the British and DAK are going to get for the battle groups here in April. Basically, for the Brits, it's very clearly that it's going to be the Archer, but also Australians. For the DAK, there seems to be some hints of subterfuge and of stealth, so might be something more Brandenburger related, plus a 250 half to the shown in the art there. And finally, they're also showing me finally going to get an option to actually remove the team decals on the light vehicles, so they look, a bit nicer that way for those who don't like them without the stuff splattered across them. So, took a while to get there, but we are getting that at least as well. A war machine here for Mishi, and strength in steel. Which honestly sounds more like a German slogan than something out of the Americans, but that's another story. Soldiers moving up here, really though, needs healing. Okay, Panzergrenadier out, that does mean the 250 have to do a bit of healing, but still, he's got a lot of infantry like at half health or below. Definitely something that Ihitto needs to sort out, because otherwise his infantry will bleed a lot. That's definitely like other than ambulance, again making active use of that 250 for healing, but of course it has a massive cooldown on its healing ability, so it's not something you can rely on a lot. So we do have MD-34s and the Panzergrenadier up, thumbs up. Assault guys have really been pushed hard, and I definitely think this is a bad call here by Ihitto. Again, low health, next to nothing left there on his assault grenadiers. That's really pushing his luck out there where it's like, an incredibly thin ice, and it's like just jumping around on the ice. Please withdraw this Panzergrenadier squad as well here. Mishi could go for Chaffies, Greyhounds, of course, anti-tank guns to counter this flak feeling. An ambulance, I think, should be priority for Ihitto. Battle-wise, we're still not seeing much here. At this point, it feels heavily like armored support, though it could surprise with combined arms or even infantry. But going by way most things typically these ways go, it's going to be armored support. Panzerjäger's on the way there for Ihitto. I mean, at this point, he could go for it just for the armor-piercing rounds for the flak feeling. Chaffee slowly approaching here for Mishi. That's going to be a big headache for the flak feeling half-track there. Ambulance almost done here. Very good. He's also gone for veteran squad leaders. 2 thumbs up. Very good upgrade there. Makes overall all the infantry better. And of course, in the case of the Panzergrenadiers, they get a 6th guy. So that's a really big boost for them there. But even the assault grenadiers, the Panzerjägers, the Panzer Pioneers do benefit from it. And there you go. In the end, Ihitto very much goes for what was anticipated. Armored support, got the veteran gunners for increased penetration, and vehicle awareness. Soldiers move forwards here, advancing the Panzergrenadiers, Panzer Pioneer here. Another attempt by the 1st ammunition breach here through into the north side of the map with the German forces of the 15th Panzergrenadiers from holding the back here. Flak feeling joining in. Further south, Chaffee engaging. 75 cannon there slams away, and seems to got an offense stuck on it somehow. Hey, Charles, maybe we should, remove the defense? No, it's a great defense. Ha, ha, ha. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna blame it on the Nazis. Grab the sun, the victory point here. Another obstacle for Mishi, very infantry-heavy approach that we got placed, at least in this case, in the Soldier squad. Got mines there, in fact, several of them out here from Ihitto. Thumbs up. Mishi, comparatively, despite again having ample assault units and thus ample opportunity to lay down mines, has yet to do that. We also got victory points here now being triple capped here by Ihitto and the 15th Panzergrenadier. Briefly, we actually got another Soldier squad. Mishi really focused on the infantry. Good golly. Assault gets closing in here. Could pop the veteran assault ability, or tactical assault ability here. Scouts here are being absolutely decimated by the MP40s. Assault units are suppressed. Panzergrenadiers with the Kar-90K and the MG34 here. Chaffee there striking in. Panzergrenadiers in the bay, preventing him from diving in. Mine goes off. Really close call there. Had the Chaffee hit that. There might actually been a chance the Panzergrenadiers could hunt it down alongside the flak feeling and finish it off here. So really lucky there for Mishi, and does highlight the lack of a mine sweep. In fact, that's probably why he went for that 4th assault engineer squad, simply because he realized he's going to need a minesweeper. And here, despite having 2 route squads, Mishi actually commits to the BA upgrade there. I mean, obviously, even 2 route squads with bars is going to be good, but honestly, part of me might have expected more light vehicles in some tech for armor. As for Ihitto, not much there in terms of tech. Could take up. Go for the Panzer Commando. Mechanized company could also be an idea here. There's several paths here Ihitto could, pursue. More mines, thumbs up. Cat moving in there, veterans are up north here. Route squad swampies moving in as well here. Further south, 5 men are busy. Mines down here, the Schützenmine 42. Reinforcement healing in there. Very good. Blackfoot engaging, Chaffee moving up, shoots, hits a bit of a pillar there, but crucially, no Germans. Blackfoot, and they're using the house there to try and stay clear of the Chaffee's line of fire. Good using the house there. Soldier narrowly escapes annihilation, which Mishi, of course, proceeds to feed another squad into that exact same meat grinder. And, of course, they take staggering casualties without doing anything. On the other hand, he does score one in the assault. Here's Panzer Pioneers over here, hitting a mine though. Flamethrower left behind as well here. Right there though for Mishi, but definitely paying for that for Ihitto. There you go. Bit of ambush here. Could combine it with the armor piercing rounds here and the white tear gas rounds to be clear at the Chaffee, but no, Ihitto does not commit to that. Further south here, Panzer goes with the Rive Squad. Still no tech there for Ihitto. In fact, he's flooding an awful lot of manpower. Definitely something I would not advise. One option to be considered could be like artillery, the likes of infantry Geschütz, Pack 38. Do get some tech, and we do get some more Panzer Pioneers, so manpower float crisis averted. Another Chaffee on there for Mishi. Ihitto certainly also exerting more aggressive map control by now. Victory points wise, he's also leading here over Mishi. Veteran 2, but low on health here. I think there's a limit how much further Ihitto can push these Panzergrenadier. Other squad falling back further north here, point being seized. Got those Flesh Panzer Pioneers out. Assault Grenadiers bringing in there already. Veteran T2. Very good. And another Assault Grenadier squad ready for Ihitto. Both sides are really going heavy on the infantry. I like to see that. So, 2 thumbs up there. I mean, it's not... Well, it could even then still push for Panzer III relatively fast, of course. It could be Ihitto has bigger plans than Panzer III's. The Panzer IV. But the Stug 3. Gee. Large going hit with the flak feeling. And we got the Panzer Pioneer supporting it. Sending big east here. March going from the south. At least went up somewhere. It sounded like the south. Steady push there.
Enemy count at 200 points.
Got those chaffies roaming about looking for targets, looking for crowds. Got the assault in here swinging their way across the wall there. Panzer's all overwhelmed, going for that veteran to assault squad with the flamethrower, closing in. The MP40s though are going to be upon them here. The assault space with the other target is now caught in a really bad range, and they're very quickly forced back here as the MP40 Grenadiers with the veteran squad leader absolutely overpower them. South side assault is pushing back. South side has fallen to the German Armoured Support, but centre and north are being claimed here as the 1st Armoured Division orders its men forwards. Assault Grenadiers in trouble though. Not so much from the assault, but the 2 chaffies do quite a bit of problem. Armoured Reserve side here does in fact have bigger plans than the Panzer III. Will it be the Stugs? Will it be the Panzer IV? Will it be the Tiger? We'll have to wait and see. In the centre there, flak feeling continues to land heavy hits here. As for Mishi, no sign of attack. And no sort of indication of what he's playing for, but I mean, obviously at some point it's going to be an EC8, but the question is, does he want to build them or does he want to call them in? Those are the big questions. In the south, the Chaff is down to the base here, going for an easy target, going, of course, for that ambulance raid. Gentlemen, you have been given one of the most sacred tasks in the entire United States Army's history. You're there to destroy ambulances. Go in there and wreck those ambulances. The most noble cause an American can take besides seizing oil. Blackfree though going out the Chaffee. Panzergrenadier pushing in there. Further northwest here, Panzer Pioneer hitting a mine, but they do get their feet onto that field point. Assault Grenadiers here supporting the Panzergrenadiers by the centre as an assault unit continuing plans an assault, but they're kind of bunched up there. Up north, the pursuit continues, but the Captain's brave sacrifice does allow the Chaffies to escape. Assault Grenadiers are getting absolutely molted. 2 flamethrowers and a lot of grace guns on veteran 2 assault units is definitely a quick recipe for 3rd-degree burns and then some. Yeah, flamethrowers here absolutely just roasting here. Ihitto's men. Mines exploding. Men are bleeding out here. Flak feeling is Bagger base awaiting repairs. But he's closing in on either Panzer IV here, the Stugs. Mine goes off there. He could try and set up for the Tiger tank, but right now, I think for Ihitto trying to set up for the Tiger tank would be exceptionally risky and ill-advised.
Territory lost.
Got the assault guns moving in there. Panzer Pioneer's rifle squad.
Our fuel point is being neutralized.
Closing in.
Territory sectors are isolated. We must reconnect with them.
Panzerjägers. Awaiting alert. Another rifle squad for Mishi going for even more infantry. Good golly, and he's actually managing all that infantry fairly well too. Quite impressive.
We have received the Stug D.
And there we go, we do get the Stugs, the Sturmgeschütze. There to support the 15th Panzergrenadier Division. Typically a Panzergrenadier Division would have had a battalion of Stugs in its Panzer Battalion. Typically Stug 4s, but Stug 3s of course could also be used. Fun fact there. And even in Panzer Divisions from roughly 1943 to mid-1944, they actually typically had a Stug battalion sort of as part of the division. Fun fact there as well. South side here, Ralph squad moving up. Also similar to the Panzer Division where they got sort of used as a sort of a supplemental tank battalion in a way. Sonya's moving forward here, flak filling down heavy fire here. Chaff is flanking in there, Stug turning around here. Need the other Stuke down to focus down. Flakfin getting hammered here by the Chaffies. Panzer's rushing in here. Flakfin taking a find the Flakfin goes down. Good kill here by Mishi's Chaffies. Stuke the flying back here. Good shot there. Panzer's withstanding the assault here, but the assault units are coming down hard here. Stuke, at least one of them an upgrade with a pin-up machine gun. Thumbs up. Fighting remains heavy. It remains brutal. It remains ceaseless. Stuke's in hot pursuit here. Trying to catch those Chaffies, but need to be careful they don't dive in too hard here for that support, or they could get outflanked. Another Chaffee there for Mishi. No sign of these here. Oh dear, what's going on here? That's something. That's a mistake there. That's a big slip there. By Ihitto, maybe a misclick, maybe a pathing error, I don't know, but it means the Stuke is isolated, unsupported. He does have the other Stuke now on the scene, but yeah, it's lost the Stuke here without really doing a lot there to Mishi. That was a definite tactical blunder there by Ihitto. Whatever the cause, it ended up costing the Stuke with not much to show for it, so that was not ideal. A tragic blow to the German army. We'll have to see what Ihitto goes for next here. He may want to have to consider some Pack 38s here. More Panzergrenadiers have to deal with all these Chaffies. More riflemen there for Mishi. He's going to be up at 4 riflemen and 3 assault unit squads. He did lose the minesweeper team. But at this point, Ihitto doesn't seem to lay down as many mines. He's also not really doing much with this battle group. And Mishi also remains a bit hesitant there. 8 Panzergrenadiers with the Veterans 1 rifle squad here. Grenadier Veterans 1 from the Panzergrenadiers with great. Does appear like Ihitto's not making much use of that one now. Another wave there from Mishi. Another wave of troops there moving forward. Center once more in the line of fire. We got 112 of us between 15. Mishi definitely has to get aggressive. He has to get bold. He has to get all in for democracy. Starring Tom Hanks. Rifle squad of Swannies moving in. Chaffee diving in hard here. Panzergrenadiers no need to be seen. Okay, there they are. But again, the Stuke is being swarmed. The lack of anti-tank mines. The lack of any troops to lay down snares as we throw them here. Definitely you see Ihitto Stuke deeply exposed here. Definitely a tactical mistake there by Ihitto. Got another assault grenade squad on the way here. Chaffee does hit a mine here, but the Panzergrenadiers no need to be seen. He's interested enough not going for more anti-tank assets, which I do find is a bit strange by Ihitto. Maybe the assault grenade squad is a misclick, I don't know. But it feels odd. And the assault grenadiers need to get out of the front line and fire the Chaffies alongside the ambulance. And to get away with the other Chaffee as well there. Bit of rubbish like there for Ihitto. He does have a good victory point lead, but... oh, another mine goes off. Another Chaffee with a damaged engine, but once more, nothing quite critical. Someone's actually blowing it up. We'll have to see what Ihitto goes next for, but yeah. 3 assault grenadier squads, 2 Panzergrenadier squads, some Panzerjägers, and a bunch of Panzerpionier versus a lot of assault engineers and riflemen supported by the captain. Quite the infantry forces on both sides. And there you go, Seek and Destroy, and again, could go for the EC8. He actually goes for the M31 recovery vehicle here to repair his tanks. And there you go. Heavy push down the center. German forces moving in there. Assault. Gun of the ASL on the elite level at Veteran Fee. They just rip through the Americans like a hot knife through butter.
300 points remaining. Say again. 300 points remaining.
Soldiers moving in the south side as well there.
Territory lost.
And there goes soldiers making short work of the captain here. Almost got a wipe here. Mishi slips and this captain pays the ultimate price in the name of democracy. What will Ihitto's move here from on B? He's still not really having the anti-tank weapons. There we go. M31, they're taking a few hits here. Panzergrenadiers being flanked with the rifle squads are also in trouble. We could maybe even see a wipe here. Very good chance for wipe. In fact, here on Mishi, rifle squad. There we go. Got the wipe. And to add insult to injury, a BAR has been left behind here for the Germans. Pounce upon the Panzergrenadiers moving in there. Assault engineers taking a lot of fun. We got double flame for assault engineers. Gonna have to withdraw here. Did they actually pick up that BAR there? Yes, indeed, but they still want to go and they can't apparently grab that. Might be a job here for the Panzergrenadier. Fritz grabs that BAR, but I don't want to fight with an American weapon, so scheiße. Still, despite all of this, Ihitto is maintaining good map control here. Again, Mishi's lack of anti-infantry vehicles is slightly holding it back. And there you go, Ihitto finally with some Chaffies, but this has been like an immense infantry battle here. And crucially, it's worth noting, we haven't really like seen like any significant amount like robbing despite all the infantry. Like they're both quite adroit in handling all the infantry, in particular like Ihitto. It's like managing his infantry across several points here relatively well. And again, he's got like a ton now, so 2 thumbs up to both players. That is some impressive infantry management skills. Impressive.
75. Repeat, 75.
Mishi with the Greyhound. No ECH for him.
Victory point
I guess he has a thing with Brad Pitt. Soldiers being hammered over the Chaffies. Panzergrenadiers bring up that Panzerbuchse. Flanking the Chaffee. Panzer Pioneer as the advancing assault years. These have definitely suffered some losses by now. Lost a Ralph squad, lost an assault year squad here. Panzer Pioneer though were indeed lost. M31 there's rushing ahead here a bit blindly. And of course remember he's actually not a tank. Of course has no guns. There's a front side note, the Germans actually mount guns on a variety of the recovery tanks, typically anti-aircraft guns. Some of the, I think it was the Baggy Hetzer and the Baggy Panthers would mount flak 38s, and I think so there's some more flaks on them. Fun fact there. Ralph squad here in trouble. Got tactical assault deactivated, thumbs up here, or was it just the... It looks like it's just combined arms ability there. I don't know why it doesn't go for tactical assault ever. But there you go, Chaffs again going for the ambulance once more. Going for that sacred task in the American Army, hunting down ambulances. Almost got it here, almost got it, and down it goes. Champagne was indeed popped there at the President's place. The White House, as some also call it. I call it the President's place. Anyways, Panzer being assailed here with the Ralph squad, the Greyhound.
Enemy forces have taken our territory.
Ihitto there, I think, is trying to set up the Tiger tank, but with these losses now going against him so heavily, it becomes, I think, a lot tougher here for Ihitto to stay up for the Tiger. I do think a Pack 38 might have been a sensible choice here. Instead of all these Panzergrenadiers, even if he doesn't have a lot. Like, this is probably, I think, like, the slight slip up here by Ihitto is just committing and, like, leaving nothing to do with the vehicles. And, of course, throwing away the Stooks the way he did. That's a big step. Of course, he's still got a massive lead. His opponent's still on victory point. And, of course, he could still turn this around. So it's not all over yet here for Ihitto. Victory is still within his reach, within his grasp. But Mishi there is fighting back like a madman. Who just discovered the size of his medical bill. Another Greyhound on the way there for Mishi. Pack 38 finally happening here for Ihitto and 15th Panzergrenadier Division. Command tanks. He's finally made some picks. He could also get the Stuka anti-tank load out soon as well. That help maybe counter all these champions again. Some slips here for Ihitto versus Mishi. A few mistakes. There's still, I'll say, quite impressive play there, but definitely some mistakes. They're proven to be costly. Though again, he is still close. So there's still a chance here. And Mishi, of course, needs to be careful he doesn't make any mistakes because those could prove to be his last mistakes. Jaffies and Greyhounds roaming about. For those wonderings briefly about that bit I mentioned with the Brandenburgers, they actually fight in, North Africa. Yes, they did. One of the units they were part was known as Sonderkommando Dora. And would sort of basically be doing what the same what the Brits did with the long, distance raid group there, what the SS chaps did, basically raiding behind enemy lines. So we'll have to see if they actually make an appearance in that DAK battle group. But if they do, that would be pretty cool. Assault gun is punch beaming forwards here. Big assault here by Ihitto. Head-on assault here. Calling in the light as well here. Luftwaffe goes in hard here. There we go. Ripping through the vehicles. Greyhounds there slamming into the infantry. Chaffee's bombarding. Greyhound kaput. Second Greyhound falling back. Ralph squad flanking their punch goes a bit of trouble. The assault goes doing what they can. Pretty brutal engagement there for the centre. More strafes there. In the south, assault engineers are hitting on mine and a pushback, but the assault engineers here, ace level, and I think they had double flamethrowers. Taking a loss here. More strafes. Another vehicle goes down. Chaffee ripped apart there. Losses are heavy. And we got Mishi pushing for even more Greyhounds. He really does not like for Rat Pit here. Because honestly, I think Ihitto would have been pretty great here versus Ihitto's current force composition. Admittedly, a bunch of Greyhounds is also going to be thick. Large squad being OM, got 30 points there for Mishi. Got the assault units, got the large squad in here. Greyhounds check for there. Awaiting repairs here from the M31. It's going to get pushed hard to the limit. Assault gun is pushing mines here. Assault units dealing with the camera, the flamethrowers, and the BAR. Chaffee moving up. 22 was 256. Almost got the center. 20 versus 256 here. Everything's hanging on the balance here for Mishi. Ihitto still has more room to work with, as long as he doesn't throw anything away there. More Greyhounds. Mishi is just calling in all of the Greyhounds. So this is what news here. Tactical assault still not being activated. I do feel like this is a rather recurring issue here from Ihitto. Just no tactical assault here. There you go. Greyhound to the rescue there. Prevents a wipe. 19 minutes 256. More Greyhounds almost arriving here. So many Greyhounds. So many Greyhounds. 19 points left here. Heavy fire there being unleashed. Pack 38 joining in the fun. 250 after rushing in. But the Pack 38 is getting overwhelmed. Swarmed. M31 is rushing in here like a madman. Like a maniac. About to take out the 250. Northern point falling center there. We see the Panzergrenadier rounded. We've got 13 versus 256. 12. Mishi's now rendered all the points neutral. Greyhound there being hunted down. M31 getting away here. Ihitto is frantically flaming about. Now he's so close, but this could cause him to make a few very bad short-sighted decisions as he attempts to close it out no matter the cost. Pack 38, they're all overwhelmed by the sheer number of light vehicles here. There's just one gun against so many Americans. Even more guns. 12 versus 246 here. Mishi is a fighter, that is for sure. Ruthless fellow. Got the M31 there, busy with the M8 Greyhound. Mines are being laid down there. Mishi missing not an opportunity to just mine up what he can as fast as possible. Ihitto there is definitely feeling the heat now. So many Greyhounds out there, and not a lot of anti-tank assets to deal with them. Like, that's his major issue right now. He just does not have like any great way of countering all these Greyhounds. And meanwhile, they're going to be absolutely heavily suited for countering all of his infantry. We are getting another pack video for Ihitto. 12 versus 211. Mishi there seems like he's ready to even consider raiding his opponent's base directly. Moving up the center here. Greyhound champions blasting away there. And we got a lot of call in here by Ihitto. So close to his base though. I mean, it is going to push back Mishi, but at the same time, it's not going to really, I think, help him that much more beyond that either. So it feels like he's just doing this out of sheer desperation more than like having any clear plan as how this is supposed to win him. That said, some force have been able to pick up the northern victory point. He still does have a lot more infantry than Mishi, who's now has definitely suffered massive loads of attrition here. 12 was 157. Pack 38 being hammered, but they're fighting back, and there you go. One Greyhound more knocked out. That's the 50-minute on-pitching rounds. Cooks up some munition, but there you go. Greyhounds are flanking here, the Pack 30 in the south. 12 versus 146. German forces are pulling in grenades off their rifle, getting mauled. Going for that southern point grand wing to deal with those assault grenadiers. Pack 30 getting flanked. Loiter is almost done. If Ihitto, yeah, it is done now. Meaning Mishi can once more get aggressive with his light vehicles. And there going the south assault grenadiers are at risk getting wiped out here. Losing his ace assault grenadiers will hurt Ihitto. Got an ace M31 as well, just trying to keep track with the Greyhound. Pack wiped again. Mishi's just swinging about here. Going here for the center victory point. Ihitto doing whatever he can to try and bleed out Mishi here. Almost got the ground. 250 after track kaput. 12 was on 25. Another Greyhound for Mishi. Again, he can just keep churning out in like massive numbers because they're cheap thanks to War Machine. And it's not like he needs tanks at this point, clearly, so he can easily just get away with it.
A victory point is being taken from us.
And far there, again, another head-on assault here, perhaps to try and focus on the south-northern points here, but Ihitto, perhaps desperate, perhaps tired, launches an all-out assault here in the center. Clover's on him 9. Clover's on 5, 103. 101. 99.
100 points remain.
96. Mishi does appear to be holding all the cards now. Ihitto very much seems constrained. There you go. GG. Game over. A victory for freedom and democracy. A loss for the German army. An absolutely brutal spectacle match here. Definitely not a match you typically expect to see. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. And as always, you can support the Propagandacaster by donating our Patreon. This is Imperial News. Cheers and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye everyone.